Welcome back to the show, everybody. Take a look at these headlines we have for you. We got some clips from Brad Garlinghouse you haven't seen yet. You're going to want them. And Antony Welfare, Ripple advisor, dropping truth bombs. He's setting it on fire today. And we got this XRP ledger of Republic of Palau. We're going to talk about that. Emi Yoshikawa talking about the XRP ledger and why it's really important. You're going to want to know. And we got this Ripple president, Monica Long, talking about to CoinDesk and the block addressing Medico acquisition and the SEC lawsuit and more. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow us on Twitter and YouTube for exclusive content. Right now, $1.16 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is up by 0.9%. Right now, 26,400 plus for Bitcoin, 1,800 slightly over for Ethereum. Tether market cap, 83 billion plus. XRP is 46 cents. It's up 3.2% in the last 24 hour and flat on the 7-day. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a great time for you to check out the Digital Perspectives Mastermind group. Let me tell you something here. This is important. I want you guys to know this because we all know the markets are collapsing around us. You can't keep up with everything, but now you can. Because the Digital Perspectives Mastermind group, DPMG, is the learning curve you've been looking for. And there's a couple hundred plus people in this group that would tell you the same damn thing. Get the tools you need, whether it's an investor checklist, portfolio creation, full access to private lessons, weekly live streams, or the supportive community that inspires critical thinking. Now is the time when real wealth is made. Take advantage of the special offer right now and make the investment into yourself. You will be glad that you did. There's a 3-day free trial right now. You have no reason why not to check out this group. I'm telling you, this group is amazing. I am proud to be a part of this group. We have some clips you haven't seen. The last 10 minutes of the interview, there was some fire here. Brad Garlinghouse filling in the gaps. You want to hear about it. Let's start with this clip right here. Shout out to XRP Newt for this.
How RippleNet works and how any KYC check, any AML check, any kind of regulatory check is enforced at the endpoint. And because we're only working with regulated endpoints, regulators very quickly get comfortable with the fact that you can't really enable anonymous transactions through RippleNet because of that point. Now, you're bringing up, I think, an interesting point. I mentioned it earlier that I think there's some foundational pieces that are possible to really help crypto succeed in the years to come. And I think robust compliance capabilities is important. There's interesting startups trying to solve that from an identity point of view, building verified identity that can be a token that kind of represents that. Ripple is not working on that directly. There's some people doing things around the XRP ledger around that, but it's not something that Ripple's working on today. But suffice it to say, I do think compliance, and frankly, I'm a big fan of Chainalysis, the previous presenter, the CEO there, Michael Groniger. And they're an example of a company that has a clear customer. They have focused on that customer. They built out a great business focused on that piece. And I think that company and Michael are good for the whole crypto industry to be successful.
All right. I have to ask the next question. I think it's the most anticipated question for the entire session. Can you provide the update status about the SEC court case? Maybe if you could dial back a little bit and give a brief story about this SEC litigation that's going on versus Ripple, and maybe talk a bit about how this lawsuit impacted Ripple's operation and partnership in the US versus globally.
Yep.
And can we expect the resolution very soon about this court case, or at least by the end of this year?
Yeah. So as you asked, I'll kind of zoom back. The United States Securities and Exchange Commission first sued Ripple in December of 2020. It was actually December 22nd, right before Christmas. The chairman of the SEC at the time actually left the position. He resigned from the position the next day. And when that first happened, one of the things I said very publicly is that I viewed this not just as an attack on Ripple, but really the entire crypto industry. And we had been advocating for clarity for crypto in the United States for years. And I think what people have come to find is, in fact, we were right. 2 years later, I think just about everyone believes and understands that what this attack from the US SEC is about much more than just Ripple. And in fact, it's about the whole industry. And the ability for Ripple to kind of prevail will have a big impact on crypto broadly. So I think many people will come around to that understanding. Now, in terms of where things stand today, I'll try to not get too much into the legal weeds. You are right that I feel very confident that we'll see a decision from the courts in this year. In fact, I think I would guess it'll be in weeks, not months.
And we know that clip, so I want to get the rest of this in very quickly.
Like Ripple, most of our hiring is non-US now. Most of our customers, as I mentioned, are non-US. And so I think it's kind of to be expected that's what would happen if you have a negative, kind of policy led from the United States SEC, and the outcome is exactly what we're getting. But look, I feel very good about where we are. The judge clearly understands some of the nuances and how important this is. And I'm really pleased that this decision.
Let's listen to
the facts are on our side, the law is on our side. And as I've said very publicly, it's very clear to me that the history will be on our side. These are technologies and capabilities that are good for businesses. They're good for consumers. And I think they will transform how the financial system works, whether or not the SEC wants to declare them as security or not. I view these things as inevitable, which is also, that's a very exciting place to work and to be for Ripple, as we're leading many parts of that.
And that's the part I wanted you to hear. We're on the right side of the law. We're on the right side of history on this, regardless of what the SEC thinks. And speaking of which, there's Antony Welfare, Ripple advisor, and boy, he can't wait to let them know what's going on in this panel. Take a listen.
And they see what has worked in the past. They don't really see what's really the killer advantage of moving to the other system. They say, let's use something that we know. And in a more fundamental level, I think if a key advantage of a DLT system is really that if it's well done and you can trust it, the algorithm and the technological setup, that you don't need a central agent. You need the system set up in a way like Bitcoin, which doesn't obviously work for payments so well, but like Bitcoin, where basically the algorithm is pretty simple, you understand it, and you don't need to trust anyone. If, however, just one second. If, however, you are in a system like, let's say, the European Union, where you already have trusted agents, and you're not going to get rid of them because the RTGS is going to run like in the past. So you have a trusted agent that has a lot of information about what's going on in the economy. Then why would you duplicate and have an additional system? If you have a trusted agent, a permissionless system sort of is not really intuitive.
And here comes Antony Welfare, baby.
Just wanted to add that so XRP Ledger is a public ledger which has been around for over 10 years and had no hacks, no downtime or anything. So just there's not just Bitcoin, and Bitcoin isn't a payment network. So I just wanted to clear that one.
You damn right, Antony. And he clears this up too. Apparently there was a paper that came out that suggested that Palau's USD stablecoin was on a private ledger. But if you've been following James Wallace, the head of central bank engagements for CBDCs, you would know that he has said multiple times, and I do mean multiple times, that the Palau USD stablecoin is built on the public XRP ledger, and that is extremely exciting to me. But apparently there was a correction that needed to be highlighted, and hopefully they get that fixed. Meanwhile, Emma Yoshikawa from Ripple here straightens this out. She lays down why the XRP ledger is perfect for stablecoin issuance. One, token issuance is provided as a protocol function, so it is very safe and simple, no smartphone risk. Two, token issuer can set an authorized trust line to control who can receive it, best for compliance purposes, such as allowing only KYC accounts to receive. This is also a protocol function, so it is very safe. Three, XRP ledger payment is super fast, 3 to 4 seconds. Part 4, it says here, we have a track record of stablecoin operation for over 10 years. It is also as a solid track record of being used by major financial institutions for remittance purposes. 5, since it is seamlessly integrated with the DEX, the decentralized exchange, the XRP ledger, which is also a protocol function. It has high applicability and expandability, such as cross-currency remittance. I tell you, she says here, authorized trust line is fairly overlooked feature, but it will become extremely important as stable coins are regulated worldwide in the future. As I said many times, it is important that this implemented in the protocol layer as a standard function for both operators and users. For more information on authorized trust lines, see the link in the information she has below. Thank you to Emi Yoshikawa for that. And here, Ripple President Monica Long sets the record straight, and she explains why the company acquired the stake in Bitstamp here. And basically what she says here is that, told the block that the stake acquisition in Bitstamp will help the company grow its global presence and go beyond payments. Now that gets exciting. Monica Long, Ripple president, said the company's recent stake acquisition in the European crypto exchange Bitstamp will help further grow the company's international presence and diversification beyond payments. Oh, well, this is getting interesting, because then you start looking at the functionality between making markets between payments and maybe clearing and settlement. Oh, this is getting good. So we'll have to see how this develops, but I tell you, this is getting good. It's an undisclosed amount so far. We don't know all the details of that acquisition, but we will bring it to you as we find out. Now, the last couple of weeks, President Monica Long of Ripple says there have been some of our busiest at Ripple, but I wouldn't have it any other way. We're so excited to welcome Medico team and looking forward to what we can build together. And this was a clip here from CoinDesk, excuse me. And I want to go into this because this has some great clips in it as well. Let me set this up very quickly here. 1 second.
Ripple announced last week that it acquired Swiss-based crypto custody provider Medico for $250 million. Joining us now to discuss is Ripple President Monica Long. Good morning, Monica.
Good morning, Jen. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Thank you for being here. Why don't we start off by setting the foundation here? Tell us about the acquisition and what it means for Ripple.
Yes. So just last week, we announced that we acquired Medico for $250 million. Medico is the leading provider of custody solutions for enterprises. Their customer base is some of the largest banks in the world. This fits really well with Ripple's core business, which, since 2014, 2015, Ripple's been the leader really pursuing enterprise crypto-based solutions with financial institutions. So bringing together the Medico team with Ripple, we're going to be able to provide very highly secure custody solutions to our customers within our payment space, our liquidity hub base, and even our CBDC base.
That's very exciting.
Yeah, I like
right
that you
there.
brought up
Let me stop that really quickly. That is very exciting right there. Now, the whole interview is fantastic, but I want to take you to another clip where they talk about the case, and Monica Long sets the record straight about how to speak about it in general. Take a listen. So this next clip here is Monica Long setting a record straight about the Hinman emails and their significance, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Then she goes on further to clarify the difference between Ripple and XRP for CoinDesk. Good on Monica Long for setting the record straight and making sure she controls that narrative. I tell you, you got to watch some of these people out here. Monica crushed this. Take a listen here.
Alderati to comment more extensively on fair notice and the implications there. We do know that the judge issued an order very recently that that pertain to, which documents in the case would be kept under seal and which ones would not. Very importantly, at least in our view, Bill Hinman's emails will be revealed. They'll be made public in the coming weeks. And we think that's significant because Bill Hinman, when he was acting director of CorpFin at the SEC, he gave a very famous speech in 2018 where he said that he saw, or the SEC saw, that Ether did not look like a security because it had been sufficiently decentralized. And now we're going to, through the revealing of his emails, we're going to get more insight into what went into that decision.
Mm-hmm. Boy, we can't wait.
Tell us a little bit more about these Hinman papers. I know we want to get more insight into what went into that decision, but once we get that insight, what could it mean for your case?
Mm-hmm.
It's to be determined, just by the court, of course, what ultimately they will decide in the case. The ruling on the Hinman emails, we think, is certainly a win for transparency, where the crypto industry at large is really seeking clarity from the U.S. We think that this transparency will go a long way. And then ultimately, of course, the ruling in our case.
Now listen to this exchange here, because this is where Monica grabs it and says, no. It needs to be seen this way. Take a look at this.
All right. And lastly, Ripple has historically maintained distance from XRP, the token that powers some of the products that the XRP has in the network. But with all of the progress with the lawsuit, with all of these announcements, we've seen some price movement. Any reaction to XRP's rise this year?
Notice the suggestion that Ripple is controlling the price of XRP in this interviewer here.
So just to be clear, Ripple's product, so primarily our flagship product in payments called on-demand liquidity, the way that product works is by facilitating payments and making the cost of payments lower and making payments faster and more transparent. It uses XRP in that flow. So that's been a key part to how we've been able to improve upon cross-border payments. And so certainly we look at other applications for the XRP ledger and the token XRP within the world of financial services. And going back to, what we started the conversation with around Medico, we see Ripple having a lot of opportunity here to go from, our payments offering and liquidity hub, even our work in CBDCs, to really be the leading player in crypto, providing the set of services that financial institutions need to take advantage of the efficiencies and the innovation in crypto and blockchain rails.
There you go, right there. And I'm excited too, Monica. Shout out to you and shout out to everybody at Ripple, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to do it for me. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. It's just my digital perspectives. I'll catch all of you on the next one.